Look at the wheels.
Okay, you ready?
Oh my goodness. Oh, yay! Wow, it's gorgeous.
This is the fun part of Susan Jacobs' job.
Am I missing something? Oh, the keys. Yay!
Susan subscribes to the thinking that sometimes the key to success is literally a key.
Get in, get in.
We have certain conditions.
Susan is the driving force behind Wheels of Success, a nonprofit that provides cars for the working poor.
You do make payment towards a car. It's not a free car, and it's not an entitlement program. You're working and you're paying it forward because that money now goes to fix the next car.
Gail Connor is the car recipient this time. The grandmother of 4 was nominated by a former employer who wanted to help Gail after her life took an unexpected turn.
To see her doing everything right with no financial solutions just broke my heart.
I started helping Gail when she got custody of her grandson after her son was sent to prison for drug trafficking prescription drugs.
This letter, sent in to Wheels of Success, tugged at the heartstrings of its CEO. It explained how, in less than a year, Gail had adopted her grandson Cameron, grandson Brandon, his stepsister Alana, and then Christian, who's not even a relative.
Gail couldn't bear the thought of him having no home other than foster care. Gail's always lived paycheck to paycheck, but that's getting more difficult now, having all of these kids under her care.
How many times do you get to change somebody's life, you know?
Susan has 1,300 times and counting since she started Wheels 13 years ago. It's all in a day's work for her, but ask any one of her car recipients and they'll tell you she's a godsend. This old sticker on the back of Gail's donated vehicle is proof of that. When Gail saw it, she knew it had to stay. She stopped the Wheels team from removing it.
He's the one that gave me the car. He's the one that made this happen, so. He's walked with me all the way through everything I've been having to go through with these kids.
Gail says God put these keys in her hand. Susan was the messenger.
Nicole, if you would come up.
Nicole Marchman thinks Susan's an angel, too. On the morning we met her, she postponed a very important appointment, choosing instead to support Susan and her life-changing work.
We didn't know if she was going to be here today. Nicole found out a couple of months ago that she has pancreatic cancer and is going through chemotherapy. And when I said, we'll find somebody else to speak, that's fine, we really just concentrate on getting better, her words were, that is going to make me better.
That's because years ago, Nicole was the one who got a car. The keys Susan placed in her hands then set the path Nicole is on today, a survivor of childhood abuse and domestic violence, and committed to making sure others get their second chance, too.
Without those keys, they can't find success. Without success, we cannot change from being a victim to a survivor.
Gail and Nicole, 2 very different women, yet Susan sees a part of herself in each of them.
I was somebody who needed this assistance years ago. I left a domestic violence situation without a car, without my stuff, other than what I could throw into storage.
This powerful, passionate, independent woman behind Wheels of Success is also a survivor of domestic violence.
A stranger helped me get me into a car that had a buy here, pay here lot that I happened to meet out and couldn't believe that I was hitchhiking to work.
That shame from her past is what inspired Susan to create Wheels of Success, turning the domestic violence story of her life into the saving grace of others.
Especially with survivors, you know, they're not necessarily ready to share their story, and they think they're the only ones. You know, you think you're the only person, you're like embarrassed. Why would I stay there, you know, educated, you know, why would I stay in a situation? And even though mine wasn't dramatically physically violent, it still wears you down, okay? And then once the physical starts, if you don't walk away, it's really hard because it escalates, and that's when you're most likely to be in danger.
The logistics of leaving a violent relationship without transportation forces many victims to stay. Susan wants to change that.
And I wanted them to know that they are not a victim, that that's just their circumstance, and they can be whoever they want to be. They can leave, and usually what's holding them is they're tied to their abuser because they don't have a car. They can't get a job, or if they have one, the abuser takes the car. They can't get the kids to school. So that was as big a thing for me, to make people realize that you're not your circumstances. They're just your circumstances, and you can change your circumstances.
She's a hero, not just to survivors of domestic violence. She helps veterans, single parents, and struggling families who didn't think heroes existed until Susan.
For the kids, it's life-changing because sometimes they're made fun of, when they're walking. So you hear all these things, people who've never been through a drive-through. Really funny, they'll talk to you. Yeah, what is the first thing you're going to do? We're going through the drive-through, And so that to me is like, when we hear that, we know that everything we're doing is, no matter what time it's going to take, is worthwhile.
It is my car.
Shattered lives being transformed, and to think it all started with her own.